Hello valued viewers, I hope you're all doing very well. Last week we did this video, the insane power of the B-1R heavy fighter bomber. And you guys have come back to me and said, do it again, but air to ground. So today we're looking at the B-1 concept and how well it would have done anti-ship. So the B-1R was designed to carry either 24 air-to-air weapons or 24 modern guided long-range air-to-ground weapons. Think JASM and think what has now become LRASM AGM-158C. And we've got that modelled now. We've got B-1R here. Inside it has 3 rotary bays, so 3 rotary bays each carry 8 AGM-158C LRASM, making 24. And today we're pitting it against a Liaoning class Chinese carrier strike group. Here is Guam, here is Anderson. Anderson has one B-1R. 220 statute miles to the north is the Liaoning carrier strike group on their way to America, and B-1R is going to get them. They also have, note, an AWACS in the Pacific here to help guide the missiles, and Liaoning also has an AWACS. First, we're going to run the simulation with the Chinese not having any fighters ready for scramble. Then we'll run it again when they have fighters ready for scramble and see if it changes anything. Let's run it in single player first of all and see what happens. This is also a great test for us to test our AGM-158C. These are missiles that we're making and we're constantly changing to make them as good as we can. So I'll give you B-1R. It's a pretty sexy plane. You're going to have to do lots of speeding up today because it's got a long way to fly. Off you go, sir. I should say, some of you have asked us to share these mods. Note, these are AI only. We've not made them human drivable because it's just not what we're trying to do at the moment. So any of the planes you see, for the moment anyway, are going to be AI only. Off you go, sir. Remember, the B-1 Regional is equipped with F119 engines from the Raptor. Sorry if I've got the designation wrong. So each of these got 35,000 pounds of static sea level thrust, making it a Mark 2.2 capable large fighter bomber, which is pretty cool. And we've got that all modelled as well. That said, his acceleration is still hopelessly bad because he weighs a lot. Up you go, sir.
180,000 pounds of fuel?
180,000 pounds of fuel, wow. It's so loud, I couldn't even hear you guys talking over it there. It's really loud plane. Oh my god, it's falling out the sky. No, it's not. I thought it was going to crash. Alright, we'll speed it up there and let it do its thing. So, note the scramble time. It started at 8 in the morning. Sorry, go ahead, Bird.
24 LRASM, so that's like what, 6 F-35s?
Now, each one of those LRASMs is over $3 million each. 3 times 24 is $70 million, at least, dollars worth of LRASM. In fact, isn't that more than the frigging plane? It's nearly as much as a Raptor. That is a lot of money worth of stuff. But then again, if it sinks the ship, that's multiple billions of dollars. These LRASMs we've made have a range of over 200 miles. They have to be guided in via an AWACS or some sort of data link, as probably real life. Why is he waiting so long? Because he needs to get high and fast. The LRASMs will only get these ranges if they're fired at well over 30,000 feet and over Mark 1. So I need that massive shunt. If you fire them from low down and static, or not very fast, they'll only go probably 100 miles. They're using the energy from the fighter bomber to get that distance. And we've managed to model the bomb bays as well now, which is great. Look, chicka, chicka, chicka. In real life, they would have rotary launchers that would each have 8 LRASMs, but we can't model that. Off they go. 24 LRASMs, all modelled in our new B-1R, or Boner. How does that make you feel, Grump? He likes it.
Mafia.
He likes it.
It is so sexy.
Watch this. You can see that the wings pop out. Wings pop out. Massive...
Oh my god, look at the chain of them.
I know. Massive shout out again. I'm not really doing the work behind the scenes now. Our dev team led by CH is doing the work now, so mustn't forget to thank them, of course. That's it. Now, the interesting thing is they are actually supersonic, or at least we predict them to be supersonic on their, on their fall from 40,000 feet, which you'd kind of expect. And they are powered as well. They've got jet engines in them. Once they get down to the sea level, they will not be supersonic. They will be subsonic, nearing transonic. Right. So help them on their way. Obviously, it takes a long time for missiles to do 200 miles. This is what we call LRASM A, the air launch version. We're also looking at developing LRASM B, which is the sea launch version. However, the latest documentation we've read is that LARASM B will not be in service until after 2025, and hence we're probably not going to bother modelling it for the time being. It's also a very different animal to LARASM A. We're 12 or so minutes into the game. Look at that funny spread. Now, that spread will change and they'll shuffle and hopefully not run into each other. There he is, there's his brothers. So imagine being a ship or a small fleet and that lot there is coming towards you. All those freaking LARASMs skimming the surface of the sea. That's a pretty sexy thing, guys. Again, that's $70 million of taxpayers' money right there.
B-1B, when it was developed, it was $265 million each.
Wow, that's a lot of money, man. And think how much it costs to operate them as well.
Astronomical.
When we were looking into using them in WarGames, B-1B, it turns out, although you guys have got over 50 of them, most of them are in temporary storage, boneyard, whatever you call it. And only a few of them are actually kept flying. Because obviously, you know, if you're not at war, why would you keep 50 of them flying? It's a horrendous cost. Imagine you're on a little speedboat or something and suddenly, bang! Woo! They're so quick. They're so quick and so low. They're pretty much over the horizon now. That's crazy.
If you want to put it in lore, you can just say the rest of the fleet is still undergoing maintenance. You know, the 150 hours after each flight that it needs to do.
No, the AWACS is not required in real life.
How do they work in real life, Simba, or is that OPSEC?
I don't have their own data link.
No, I know they have their own data link, Simba, but who's seeing that group? If AWACS is not seeing the group, who's seeing that group? And that's why I put it in there, because the plane can't see it. The plane's gone home now. These can't see it because these are 20 feet off the ground. So
GPS until a certain distance.
Maybe.
There's a difference between like a TOO mode. It's kind of like when you're doing the slammers, right? You can tell it to fly to a point and then turn left and then start seeking targets. Same thing with these. You can give it a flight plan. You can tell it where to fly. It'll fly through valleys and mountain ranges and terrain mass. It is the airborne version of a Tomahawk cruise missile.
Roger. I should say, valued viewers, we don't have that tech in game. We can't make it go through a flight plan. We can make it go to kind of point A, point B, and then it will turn its own sensor on. That's the best we've got. And in fact, I'm going to show that off now. If everything works, which fingers crossed it does, they should be 10 miles away from the group where they suspect the group to be. They'll turn their own little radars on. I think they've got IR seekers as well in real life, but they've just got radar. There they go. And then, here's the cool bit, right? They're going to start looking for ships, and some of them have caught them. In fact, yeah, all of them have caught them. No, 2 have gone wrong. See, 2 have gone wrong. It's annoying, but that's the way it goes sometimes. They would, and I'll tell you the reason for that is because they were slightly out of their radar coverage, how far that radar could see sideways. And that's because these guys are moving at 30 knots, and they just moved slightly out. But that's, God saw fit to give them 22 more. And what they're going to do now, guys, is in real life, they will talk to each other and divvy up who's going for what ship. That's how you think they would work in real life here, Simba?
Yes, that's what I think would work.
We can sort of do that. We've bodged it, so it sort of does that. So what you're going to see now is they're hopefully going to divvy up targets and go where they need to go. It doesn't quite work like in real life, but again, it's as best as we can do. Now, some more things to talk about before we go any further. Speed, we've got at 630 knots, so subsonic. Radar detectability is really important, and it's really important we get the feedback from you guys. Now, no one knows how detectable these are, so we've had our best guess. 0.05 meters squared, the same as a J-20 Mighty Dragon from China. That's somewhere between stealth and low visibility. Well, you're saying, Cap, why are they not super stealthy? Well, our understanding is, from what we've read, these are not getting the super fancy stealth coating that maybe is going on a Raptor or something, or a B-21. And that's because this is designed to get blown up, right? It would be a waste. Also, because if this goes into a ship and fails to explode, and that ship survives, then Russia or China or whoever they're shooting at can take the technology and take this stealth coating and analyze it and do whatever they need to do. So they'll put, as far as we understand, crappy stealth coating on this. So the radar cross-section is reduced. It's 0.05 meters squared, but it's not completely stealth. Now, the interesting thing is now, can the ships see them? And the answer is they can, but because it's moving so fast and so low, they don't get time to set their fire control systems up in-game. Real life, obviously, I can't be sure. Oh, we just missed the first destroyer, that's bad. I showed a sonic boom for some reason. 1 destroyer hit, 2 destroyers hit, 3 destroyers hit, 4 destroyers hit, 5, all destroyers hit, and the mothership's been hit. And the mothership's twice, 3 times. Some got shot down. Pause it there. At least 1 got shot down before it hit the carrier, so you can shoot them down, but the ships can only track them at the very last second because of radar cross-section, speed, and altitude. And the really cool thing is, they'll divvy up so that the most of them will hit the bigger ship. So the destroyers have only been hit 2 or 3 times. The carrier has been hit 5 or 6 times because it's bigger and it detects it needs more. In terms of damage, we've modelled a 1,000 pound penetrator warhead. It's enough to just about sink a destroyer, and you need 3 or 4 to put out of action a carrier that big, which we think is realistic. Guys, before we now give them an air force and start trying to defend against these missiles, any comments on what you've seen so far? Oh, the B-1's just jumped out and ejected. Huh. Well, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you DCS. We'll cut that out. We'll cut that out. Any other thoughts, guys?
Well, it looks like those last 2 Larasms actually turned back around and started seeking their target.
Oh, I didn't. I wasn't paying attention.
They were similar Rasms. They just went for a scene.
I didn't see
Did they
I
actually
was waiting
shoot
for you to make that comment, Cap.
Right, guys, we're going to run exactly the same simulation again, everything identical, but we're going to add an air force, and this should change things up. Welcome in. This time we've got the aircraft. Now we can only use humans as the aircraft because the AI will not attack the Larasms, the AI J-15. So we're going to get the humans in. We're going to spawn them in 1 by 1 so that we don't do anything, so that we don't hit each other on the deck. Grump, in you go.
That flag on the back is going to make landings fun.
And punch it. There isn't. Oh no, the flag's gone. It just disappeared. Punch it, Grump. You can operate 4 planes at a time, but it gets a bit buggy on multiplayer with these planes, so. Good job. Can we have Simba spawn in? Guys, we'll interrupt, get in the left orbit, and I'll come and lead us up. In the background, the B-1 will be doing its stuff as we speak, but it'll take a while before it gets there. Can we have Bird spawn in, please? Cannonball, spawn in, please.
Gonna establish Angels 3, 600 clicks.
Roger, is that meters? Drop, spawn in.
Negative would be 1,000 meters.
Violet, spawn in. Oh, we're on a different cat, that should be interesting. Punch it. And Wardog, spawn in. Off you go. Well, Violet, you only just stayed in the air. Alright guys, I'm spawning in now. In fact, I've got some interesting news about this aircraft in real life, valued viewers. Until this point, in real life, these have been using AL-31 Saturn engines from Russia, which are pretty decent engines. They generate over 30,000 pounds of thrust. They're pretty reliable and good for naval use. But China really wanted to make their own engines, and the WS series engines have just been made ready and are being fitted into these J-15s, we believe, as we speak. So, I don't know if anyone's interested in that at all, but they are now being fitted with Chinese engines. Right, last man rolling. I'll be up in a jiffy. Gear up. Look at the angle of attack. Oh! New Chinese WS engine, powerful. Right, we're flying. Right, now let's try and remember where those missiles came from, and then we'll intercept. If you guys can try and find me, guys, while I'm just doing some planning on the map. So we are here. Obviously, we can't see the baddies. Yep. We can't see the missiles. The AWACS just won't see them. Right, they were firing from about there. I'm going to start heading towards 1603 True.
We are high into your 5 o'clock.
Roger. Okay, I'm going to put flares out. I've got plenty of them. I'm not going to need them.
Tally.
Visual.
Tally.
About 1,000 meters. Our AWACS will not see those Larasms, or it will, but only once we're there within, like, I don't know, 20 miles of the carrier, by which time it's too late. So, well, my tracker is playing up, which is annoying, but there's my guys. So, we've got to go and find it with our own sensors, and this should all be modelled relatively realistically. On board, we've got an AESA radar, which is going to be able to see them at about, oh, I don't know, you tell me, 20, 30 miles maybe? We'll see. And we've got an electro-optical system which allows us to see the heat of their engines, and that's going to help hopefully find them as well. So for the time being, we've got 100 or so miles to travel, guys, so you can just get a nice sexy formation. Alright guys, I think I've got my autopilot working. Yes, I have. Let's see you lot. Alrighty then. Liaoning, we will protect you. Here's the thing, would you be able to know which way they were coming from in real life? Well, yeah, I guess, because that B-1 would have been spotted by our AWACS, so we could probably know which way roughly these missiles are coming in. So we're going to just head that way, and hopefully we're just going to bump into them, guys. Alright, sensors, guys. Let's fire up our radars and get everything set up. Right, who can spot Larasm first? Gets a prize. Might not be a nice prize, but it'll be a prize. No, in real life, obviously, we wouldn't fly in parade formation, but Grim Reapers, gotta have a little bit of silliness, right?
We do.
We're here to look sexy.
Right, we've covered 30 nautical miles already. If they're traveling about the same speed as us, transonic, that means I would expect we would meet somewhere about there. So our controllers back on the carrier will be telling us to fly for, and I quote, 70 nautical miles. We've still got 70 nautical miles to go yet. Now the question is, will our radar pick the missiles up? Yes, we've tried that before and we know it works. How far can our radar pick the missiles up? Well, I don't know. We've set the radar cross-section of LARASM the same to J20, and we can usually see J20 with an AESA radar at about 30 miles.
That's at altitude. These things are at sea level.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah. While we're waiting, has anyone got any interesting or relevant anecdotes, guys? You know I love a good anecdote. No anecdotes at all. Brilliant.
Too busy trying to stay in formation.
Yes, you are busy, aren't you? Two of you just almost whacked each other. The lols, guys, the lols of the situation. I'm easy, I just sit on friggin' autopilot. My job's easy, guys. Nothing on data link. We have an AWACS that feeds our data link, and this is all modelled in game, by the way, and there is nothing on our data link. Not even the B1. Actually, no, there's the B1, look. There's the B1 in front of us to the left. B1's there, but no LARASMs yet.
Kelly, a contact clicks out.
Right, now is it B1 or is it a LARASM is the question.
It's B1.
B1.
Probably B1.
B1, yeah. Yeah, we think the missile will probably be 1 dot, so... Alright, well, let's leave him alone. He's not our mission. Why we're flying low is because I want to increase our chances of bumping into these missiles. If we're at 40,000 feet, I'm worried that we're going to miss these missiles with our A, our eyes, and B, with our radar.
Yeah, that's it. Still at over 200 kilometers away.
He's jamming. I just saw a jamming stroke. Yeah, so that... yeah. In real life, can LARASMs jam and have electronic warfare? I have no idea. Does anyone know that can say?
Maybe, but that's a lot of money and tech to put in something that's about to explode.
Yeah. Why does LARASM not fly as far as JASM, the kind of cruise missile variant? Well, the reason is LARASM, the ship version, they had to add a load of weight into the missile, the penetrating warhead and stuff like that, which adds loads of weight to the missile, and they had to chuck out a load of fuel. And therefore, it only goes about half the distance of a AGM-158 Bravo, the JASM extended range. Too many words. So you'll only get about 200-ish miles from a LARASM. Okay, B1 contact has disappeared from radar. Oh, look, it's disappeared. It's disappeared. I'll give you LARASMs, Cap. Autopilot off. Free to engage at will, guys. They are definitely LARASMs. I can't lock them.
I got one locked.
Break formation.
Box 3.
That's not nice work. Simba Wimba.
Pilot locked.
From Fox 3.
Right. They've all disappeared from me.
Or Fox 3.
I've lost them all from contact. No, there we go. Doesn't matter. Yeah, finding these is hard. Okay, got them at 40 kilometers. Yeah, about 30 miles we can see them. Look at them. Look at them, the radar viewers. I don't know how you can lock them, by the way. I've got my PRF wrong. That's what I've got wrong. Authorized. Cap can see them and is firing. Fox 3. PL-15 for the win. Right, so AESA radar, at least the way we've got them set up, can see them at 30 miles and can shoot at them. Now, what is our efficacy of our missiles going to be? Well, got no way of really finding out.
Splash 1.
Well done.
Grab splash 1.
Guys, once we're in close. Once we're in close, don't use Fox 3s because we'll kill each other. I know someone's not going to listen, but it's very important. Once we're in close. I'm still 20 clicks away, so I'm going to just keep pumping missiles. Splash 1. 24 miles to go. Probably will need to keep them locked until you get the hit, the kill, whatever it works.
Another splash.
Well done. Oh, we should have put the kill counter on. Dang. Now we don't know how many I've
lost them.
They're going to be behind us.
That's right over there.
Right, we're in now, so start switching.
Visual.
Start switching to Fox 2 and guns. Fox 2 and guns, guys. Merged. Caps merged. I'm going to just plot the course back to base so we know how to track them. The reciprocal course is head 346 to pick them up. I wish I could remember how to use my PRF in this now. That's kind of stupid of me. Remember, they're going transonic. Okay, Caps on course. Oh, yeah, I see them. Beautiful. I see them.
Launch authorized.
Right, are there any humans around there? Are there any humans around it? I don't...
If you hold lock, you will be able to fire at it.
Roger. If anyone could get their speed and clicks per hour, that would be useful as well. Okay, I'm in a situation.
About 900.
Pilot, once that's splashed, can you get out there, please? Because I need to, you're blocking my shot, basically. It doesn't matter, you just get my target, it's alright. Right, carry on, guys.
Refrain from using Fox 3s, we get friendlies in the mix.
Yeah, I'm holding fire now. Use your Fox 2s, guys. I gave you 4 R7, oh, I don't know, PL10s or whatever they're called. Oh, this is strangely effective and controlled for us, guys. 3 left, there are 3 left.
Launch authorized.
From Fox 2.
Switching to Fox 2s.
Guys that have flown up front and over top, you might want to break off and come back behind. We're more effective just staying behind them and shooting.
Caps behind.
Buddy spike.
Going back to BVR radar. I can't actually see anymore, and I've got no way of checking. In fact,
I've got one.
Launch authorized.
I've got one locked up.
Roger, someone's got a missile on it. Someone's got a missile on it. I think they're outrunning us. I think that's what's happening.
Splash.
Was that it? Right, have a good scan round with your BVR radar, guys. Let's make sure we're not missed any.
I'm not seeing any on BDR.
Alright, I'm going to eject and go to God mode, just to check this. I'm on God cheat mode now, and there are none left. That's it. That was worryingly easy. Right, since that was so easy, I'll let you RTB and go and land, if you can. Valued viewers, as long as we know which way the LARASMs are coming from, it looks like fighters can be scrambled to shoot them down. We found them about 30 miles, as we think is about realistic with an AESA radar. We used the RST in close, and we shot them down. So they are not completely invincible. They can be targeted. It's a bit of a game changer. As long as, that said, if a B-21 was launching them, which couldn't be seen by long-range radar, then you wouldn't know actually which way they were coming from, and you wouldn't know which way to scramble your fighters. So that's a big thing. And by the time the AWACS picks up those missiles, that's too late. They're within 20 miles of the carrier group and chances of intercepting them. So that's really interesting stuff, and maybe even useful feedback for real military guys.
That was actually really easy. I thought we were going to find them.
Oh, it was easy, wasn't it, guys? Yeah.
That was a very expensive experiment.
It was, wasn't it? It was a $70 million. Plus, I've lost my plane. Guys, I like to spice things up, as you know, so I'm going to turn it into a race. 3, 2, 1, go. You got plenty of fuel. Grump and Dropper at the front, being super sexy men. If you're asking, have you got a fuel gauge in there? I don't think China saw fit to give you a fuel gauge, so, yeah. Do one.
Cheeky.
Grump's pulled into the lead, Grump! How are you so fast? Talk us through it.
I kept my canopy on this time.
But you don't feel as sexy is the problem, and that's feeling it. Let's think about it.
You're fine. Yep, you're correct.
Yeah.
It gone. Is it? Yep,
Yes, it is.
Bye-bye.
Better. Much slower. Not as militarily effective, valued viewers, but so freaking sexy. Got that little Grump in there. Wiggling his little lasso
take
out.
the canopy off so you can shout your commands as flight lead to everybody.
I can wave my little flags. Green for go, red for stop. Right, Grump, you are, and I quote, 16 miles. Wahoo! Back they come. Flag's gone down. Okay, Drop's first man and final. Heavens, don't mess this up, Drop, whatever you do.
Simba's 2 mile trail.
What was the hook command again?
Ooh. Awkward.
Left Alt G.
Left Alt and G.
This is actually untested, so I don't even know if these hooks will work, but I don't see why they wouldn't. They're a hook, right? I reckon you guys are coming in too shallow, because remember, for these hooks to work, you've got to come down at 3 degrees.
I love when I put the gear down, it has a little exclamation point.
Huh. Yes, it works. Simba's down. Right. Despawn, please, Simba, to free that thing up. Everyone's got their canopy off now. Everyone's super sexy. Come on, bird. Come on, bird. Oh! Ho, ho!
That's unfortunate.
Well,
Power.
the flag up at the last minute. Bird, why does no one like you?
All right.
Go on, Grum.
Chop it.
Go on, Grum. Yeah! Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, you lucky boy.
Despawn. Could you come in any more shallow drop? I don't think you've made it shallow enough.
That's what happened to me.
No.
It's, yeah, the damage model's not quite right.
And there's a hole in the carrier now.
We never actually intended this thing to land as a human. But you know what? Let's carry on for the lols. Violet, one thing we've learned, because the damage model goes all the way down and past the landing gear, I think you've got to kind of go down quite steep. Oh yeah, I forgot. I gave you a 50 knot crosswind. I did actually do that, by the way. I wanted to see if the Rasms could operate now. Oh! Okay, I made a crappy damage model for it.
I mean, it's basically either land it properly or don't land at all. That's kind of what I'm getting from this damage model.
You've got no margin for error. If you go 1 mile an hour above landing speed, it looks like it will just blow up. We've just started making our first damage models now. Honestly, we don't really know what we're doing.
We are drifting quite far left.
Yeah, that's a 50 knot crosswind, by the way. Chances of this going right, very slim.
I'd say
all or nothing. All or nothing, I say. All or nothing.
Oh,
brave.
You might need that wing.
They put the flag up.
That was an okay attrition rate, guys. 2 guys made it down out of break 9. So, sorry for wasting all of your time, but let's face it, that was kind of fun.
B1 is on final.
Look, he finally made it back. He's like, I did a thing. So, 24 Rasms. Can they blow a carrier group up without air defense? Yes, as far as this simulates it. Can that air defense, if they know where it was shot from roughly, take off and intercept the Rasms? Apparently yes, with AESA radar and IRST. What happens though when the Chinese RTB, will they blow their own carrier up? If Grim Reapers are in the control? Yes. Anything to add to that, guys?
B1 is so majestic.
Roger. We're going to be making B-21 as well, which I'm looking forward to doing. Valued viewers, obviously that's just being announced in 3 days' time by the USAF, I think. Right, I hope you enjoyed that and we'll see you later.